Welcome to another episode of Rim Shots with Sean on the Rock Rage Radio Network, brought to you by Barstools and Bandtalk. We're still trying to come up with a name, but we're calling it the Curtain Call right now. And hey, we'll go with that. I have all the way from where are you located, Rock?
Slovenia.
Slovenia. So the other side of the world, we're here in Canada. He's got a very, very cool band called Escalate. And welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you very much.
So Brian sent me some tunes. I had a listen. I hopefully I get this right, but definitely a new metal vibe. Is that the gist of it?
Depends on the song. Depends on which song have you listened to, because it's kind of new metal from the 90s, from 2000s, and some grunge and some modern production. So I don't know. It's hard to say what it is,
I heard some. I definitely heard some symphonic stuff. I heard some new metal, like maybe tinges of Corn, all kinds of different things. Who are some of your influences?
Huh. And some new metal stuff might come in, because when I was growing up, I was listening to those bands. So there's somewhere here, in the back of my head, and it just pops out. Fuck, here I am. So I guess, yeah, that's it.
Well, and I mean, in terms of what I was hearing and what I heard, I mean, it's very tight. It's very proficient. It has an element of riff to it, but it comes across as very structured, very produced. Is that what you guys are going for?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Which leads me to assume. I never like to assume, but I will. You take this out live, there's going to be some tracks involved. You guys are going to probably have a production value to it that's going to be different than just a lot of bands that just show up and play. Would that also be the case?
Yeah. We used to have like big amplifiers and cabinets and stuff like that, but we went all digital, and even the players. Our drummer has a player, and so yeah, we're gonna add some. Even on live scenarios, we're adding some strings and some pre-recorded stuff. Not as much, not as many tracks or as loud that would make a big difference if there was but so if computer crashes, we're still doing the show, but just enough to spice things up.
I get a kick. I'm a drummer myself. I play in a band. We use a click track. We don't use that many tracks, but to me, it's a skill set. Being a drummer, I know it's a skill set. People kind of get a little upset when that band a couple of years ago said, "Oh, we couldn't do a show because the laptop got stolen or whatever." And I think people just really make too much of a big deal about that aspect of things. I mean, simple fact of the matter is, there's always, you went from acoustic guitar to electric guitar to these are the evolution things that we deal with in the music business, right?
Yeah. I do. I understand that, and I've been to shows when they have to cancel because of the heat and computer crashed. So, like I said, we don't want to do that. We don't want to get to that scenario. So everything we have, it's we try to make it foolproof. We don't use actually a PC or Mac. We use a player, LP16, that is specifically for drummers. For
Nice.
we have clicks, we have like pre-recorded stuff, and all of that shit for our in-ears. And even the helixes, we could get it in the back and just let the LP16 run it through MIDI, but I wanted to have the full pedal boards in front of us, because if that shit dies, we can still use helixes. We can still make a show.
So I love this direction of the conversation, because a lot of people still, you hear these terms. I'm old school. I got to have an amp. I got to have this. I got to have that. And the simple fact of the matter is that I went and saw Megadeth last year. Megadeth did not have a single amp on stage. It was a nice, clean stage. They still sounded like Megadeth. They were still powerful. What would you say to somebody that is kind of saying, "Oh, well, you're using too much technology, not enough, old school gear"?
I'm too old to use old school gear, and I'm too broke to use roadies. So
Fair enough. There you
that's
go.
why I have a band in. My band is like in this size. Enough.
Yeah, that could be possibly the best answer that I've ever heard on that question. So thank you. So in your part of the world, tell me what music is like and the music scene is like over there. Because I mean, over here in North America, I think sometimes if you've never been, you have this preconceived notion of what it might be like over there in terms of music. So what do you guys have on the go over there?
Huh. Hard to say. It's like in Slovenia. Slovenia, you have to understand that Slovenia is like 2 million population. It's
Yep.
nothing. And I'd say like half of it, it's kind of rock, and from that rock half, it's like 30% maybe listens to metal. And the other half is like we just listen to everything that radio plays.
Right.
And the Slovenian national music, it's accordions and shit. I don't care for it. So
Yeah,
yeah.
well, I mean, where I live in Canada, I mean, we're very folky slash Celtic-y where we are. I mean, I'm a rock guy, so I mean, the sound of violins and stuff kind of grate on my nerves. So I hear you and accordions and all that stuff. Hey, great. You know what? If people like it, no harm, no foul. But I want to hear guitars, man. I want to hear drums. I want to hear, loud music. I want to hear cool music. And so I feel your pain, brother. I feel your pain.
I mean, I don't mind accordion if it's used in jazz or something else. I just don't want it. Don't want to listen to polka.
Yeah, you and me both.
That's
So I always like to ask this question because we do this segment for Curtain Call, and I've been doing a lot of interviews with Curtain Call artists. How did you get connected with them? And I guess what was what led you to, I guess, the place in your career where you wanted to kind of take on a label and start working with a label?
so first how we got to Curtain Call. It was actually through Rock Rage Radio, because a fan of ours, the biggest fan probably, Boštjan, he found Jeannie that works on Rock Rage Radio, and he asked her to check our new music. It was years ago. And he was so annoying that she actually went and checked the music, and she liked it, and we kind of started doing interviews and just private chats. Hey, how are you doing? How the band's doing, and stuff like that. And I think it was 2 years later, she was like, yeah, I don't know if I mentioned before, but our boss, I mean his wife, actually has a label. And I was like,
Yep.
2 years, man, 2 years. We were, and before Curtain Call, we were signed by another label, but it was like for 6 months, and we ended that because they were trying to tell us what kind of music should we do and how our music should sound,
Right.
and other stuff, money wise, and like, and that's why I like Curtain Call, because we have our freedom. They're actually there to support us, and not to dictate what kind of a band we should be.
Yeah,
Yes,
I mean the business has changed so much, and I mean back in the day, if you got a record deal, really the record company, it was a bank loan. They gave you money, but they wanted it paid back, and to get their money back, they would tell you how, to play and what songs to write and what you should be like. And now I really like the fact that you have that independence, even if you're working with a label, that you can do that type of thing. So I think that's great. It sounds like it's a good fit for you guys.
yeah, I think it's a good fit for now. I mean, because to be honest, in 2025, you don't actually need a record label. You just need like 1 million true fans,
Yep.
and you're set.
No, amen.
You don't
And
need
a lot of people,
anything.
You just nailed something there that a lot of people miss, and it's finding those and true fans because people get caught up in the minutia of viral things and viral. You know, it might go viral. That doesn't mean a lot of people are paying attention, and people do not understand that when they're dealing with anything, right?
That's what we were talking with the guys, how to boost our social media, how to boost our TikTok and stuff like that. And we were like, yeah, we gotta do something viral, man. And we were checking out videos, how to make a viral video, how to make a hook, how to make something, something, something. And it's all fine. It's all fine, but not for us. Because if I'm going viral by, I don't know, falling down the stairs, people are going to want to see me falling down the stairs and not listen to our music. It's different kind of people, you know. Those guys are not coming to our show and not buying our music. So if we want people to buy our music, we got to target the people to buy our music, not
Well,
just boost the numbers, you know, just
one
general.
hundred percent. And the second you stop falling down the stairs, they stop watching and paying attention,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's the game, kids. I hate to break it to you, but that's the game. Where did the name come from? I think the name's a really super cool play on words. Where did the name come from?
It's actually my tattoo. We are called Captain Morgan's Revenge before, and our logo was a skull with an 8, like kind of like this, and an X, like a paintbrush X behind the skull. And that was actually the first on my back before it started as a logo. And when we signed the contract with the first label, we had to change the name for obvious reasons, like Captain Morgan's Revenge. You know, Google
Yep.
it, you'll know. So we had to change the name, and it was like the list was so freaking long, and the most, I don't know, the simplest solution was take the logo, split it in different parts, and then just make a word out of it. And it was X, the skull, and the 8. Okay, escalate. And since the music escalated, the band escalated, the name just fell right in.
No, it's good. I like it. It's very interesting stuff. I like those plays on words and things like that. So that's fantastic. So in terms of live playing, do you guys? Because I talk to all kinds of different bands, and some bands are studio bands, some bands go out and tour, some bands play the odd show. What does that look like for you?
Well, right now, um, first thing is we like to do live shows. Yeah, we're not just a studio band. I mean, when we get to the production part, we are there and we take our time and make it perfect, and having fun in the
Yep.
process, of course.
Yep.
But our main goal is to get out to play, and we're just kind of stuck. I mean, not stuck. In Slovenia, because it's so small, you're just running in circles. And finally, we're getting out this April. We have a tour with just to check. We have a tour in Germany.
Yep.
And it's a small tour. It's like, I think, 5 to 6 gigs with Battleborn. But yeah, I'm glad we're moving in the right direction. I'm glad we're getting out, touring, and I just hope we don't kill each other.
Well, that's always where a band finds out if they're really a band, right? When you're on the road and sharing
Exactly.
vehicles and sitting around eating food, and yeah, so absolutely. Last question, my friend. We like to keep it short and sweet because people's attention spans are obviously terrible, and we like to keep them engaged.
You got 1 minute.
You know it. Yeah, you know it. I know it. Where do I send my viewers to find out more about you guys and get your music and check you out?
The simplest way is to go to escalate.com/links. Everything's there. Escalate.com/links.
If you can't figure that out, boys and girls, I cannot help you. That's probably the easiest easiest social
Right.
media link I've been given. So
Make
fantastic
it
work.
simple, man. Like you said.
We're all about simple, my friend. It was great to meet you. I want to stay in touch. All the curtain call folks that I've met have been, they all bring a little bit stuff different to the table, something a little bit different to the table. But they're all incredibly talented. They do great work, and you guys are no exception. So nice to meet you, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
We are back after this on the Rock Rage Radio Network.